Now, there is a huge difference between staking and reflections, and each one has its advantages depending on your perspective. Hi, I'm the Gaining Enigma, and welcome to my channel. If you like the things being discussed here, then don't forget to click that subscribe button. Don't forget to comment, and lastly, turn on that bell notification so you'll never miss when I come out with another video. So let's get to it. Now, let me warn you, most people will go into great detail explaining proof of work versus proof of stake when talking about staking. Well, I'm going to bring it down to a beginner's level to explain both staking and reflections. But first, let's talk about reflections. Reflections are a passive income structure that is built into many tokens. Well, for some that are unaware of this word, that basically means as your investment sits, you gain more of it. This directly applies to PancakeSwap at the moment, as BitMart only provides an option to stake MContent. During each transaction, a 10% tax is implemented. The breakdown for this tax is as follows. Now, when it comes to the tokenomics, you can refer to MContent's white paper on MContent.net. So let's go down and let's look at that 10% tax transaction. As you can see, if you look underneath, it says 4% is allocated to the Content Creators Fund. 5% is going to get sent into the liquidity pool on PancakeSwap, and 1% is going to be redistributed to MContent holders. Again, this generates passive income over time. Now, you might ask yourself, how do you determine how much reflections you gain on your particular amount of investment? Now, although I consider myself a math whiz, and I could go in depth with a formula to find this out, I'd rather keep it simple, if I'm being honest. Let's just say, based on the current trading volume and percentage you have of MContent, that would directly determine what portion of that 1% you will receive. Simply put, if the 24-hour volume for the day is $1 million, then 1% of that is distributed to all holders according to your number of tokens. Now, this isn't a complete breakdown of the reflections calculation, and I'm not going to go into more detail, but it's needless to say that the longer you hold on to your tokens, the more passive income you make. Now, with that in mind, I will say there's an apparent downside to this, and it's actually quite simple. Whoever holds more tokens and are in that particular project longer gain more tokens. Now you might think, well, I'll just buy more tokens and get more reflections. And I say, if you have no spending limit, then by all means, go for it. But keep in mind, 1,000 MContent tokens today won't equal what 1,000 MContent tokens will equal in a week or a month. And that's because it's a deflationary asset. This means that as more tokens are burnt, the more the price of this token will. Basically, the less there is of something, the more people will be willing to spend for it. At this point, consider MContent to be a finite resource. Now, when it comes to staking, it's a bit. Now, when it comes to staking, currently, this is only going to be available for you in BitMart. As you can see here, MContent staking gives you a 15% yield on your amount that you stake. Now, when it comes to the current amount of staking, if you come look down, you have to hold a minimum of 30.8 billion MContent tokens in order to qualify for staking rewards. And as I stated earlier, you'll gain 15% yearly, which is APY, appreciation for the yearly, when it comes to. Now, as mentioned before, there are many technical ways of speaking about this, but I'd rather bring it down to a level that everyone can understand. Well, I hope everyone can understand. Now, those that are in BitMart gain staking rewards. The process is rather simple. Let's say a group of people are asked to solve a problem, but not all of them will get the opportunity to answer. If you are chosen, you have to, quote unquote, bet a certain amount of MContent. And let's just say, I'll wager 30.85 billion MContent that my answer is right. In this term, let's just say that's what it means to stake. Well, needless to say, that if you're right, you'll gain more MContent because of that. But that refers to if you were providing the resources it would take to compute this calculation. But when you stake on different exchanges, we as investors are relieved of that responsibility because the exchanges make it easier for us by completing this process. Basically, they have supercomputers and we don't. So, because we've put money into their exchanges, they will go ahead and do that for us. Now, when it comes to the 15%, this is what you gain over the course of 12 months. Or breaking it down, you gain about 1.25% each month. But the problem with this is that you have to hold for the entire month in order to gain your percentage of increase. And that's because the amount you staked needs to be locked away. So if you pull out your investments, you then cause errors in the exchange's calculations, making it harder to determine the amount you should receive. Now, each way has its upside and downside. So to ask which is better is purely going to be a matter of opinion. And of course, I'm no financial advisor. So instead, consider consulting one if you find this decision to be difficult. Now, I hope that this at least brightens up your perspective and understanding of what it means to stake versus gaining reflections. And again, thank you guys for tuning in to my channel. Again, don't forget to click that subscribe button and that bell notification. Comment below. And if you feel that I've said anything that might need to be corrected, please do not hesitate to put a comment below. Again, thank you guys for tuning into my channel on this brief discussion on staking versus reflections. Again, MContent is the way. Enigma out.